once again in the side of Madrid. But we are only 90 minutes away from finding out, as the captains Valverde and Bernardo Silva exchange pleasantries with the referee Clement Dupont just on the halfway line. Real Madrid in their all-too traditional all-white strip of white shirts, shorts and socks. And Manchester City in their change, almost camo green style kit. A darker sort of shade of green with some light touches and flecks on it. And they'll be hoping to be disappearing away from Madrid with 3 vital points that would push them into those top 8 places as well. There are a number of games happening in the Champions League this evening as well, of which we will update you throughout for the service. The games earlier, Karabakh fell to a 4-2 defeat at home against Ajax with some much needed points for the team from Amsterdam. And then also in Spain, Villarreal fell to a 3-2 defeat at home against FC Copenhagen. Athletic Club and Paris Saint-Germain play, as well as Benfica and Napoli, Club Brugge and Arsenal, Dortmund and Berdeglimt, Juventus, Paphos and Leverkusen and Newcastle United. So a full house of Champions League football. This one match 6 of 8 in the league stage. And a chance for Madrid to continue in fine form in Europe and put those worries about domestic form firmly away, if but for a brief moment. And it is going to be Manchester City kicking us off from right to left in that all-green strip, with Real Madrid kicking from left to right here at the Bernabeu. So this one, the 15th meeting between the two of them. 5 victories for Real Madrid, 5 draws and 4 victories for Manchester City. Of course, notably picking up a victory on aggregate against Real Madrid for their one and only Champions League success in 2023. And they will need to emulate that sort of form and passion if they're going to find a positive result today, and a good opportunity to do so as well with all the injuries. Doku driving up that right-hand side, looking to get beyond Rudiger. Rudiger taking no chances and putting the ball out for a throw-in for Man City, a couple of yards from the corner flag on the further side. Xavi Alonso, well, he's not got too many suitors at the moment, in particular in Spanish press, known to be relatively hostile, and they're certainly not letting their feelings shy at all towards the man in charge at Madrid. As Núñez takes that throw-in quickly up the touchline, Rudiger aiming to clear the ball away, pumping as far away, but straight out for yet another throw-in for Manchester City, who they themselves are picking up some form. 3 wins on the spin, all in the league. But they've been thrillers, the lot of them, in particular that game against Fulham. A 5-4 thriller. Ball out to this near side though. Nico O'Reilly halfway inside that Madrid half. Playing the short ball between themselves. Good pressure there though from Madrid. Vinicius Junior now with a chance to break inside of the City half, but a heavy touch allows O'Reilly back. Vinicius Junior, ball threaded into the centre. Anyone able to get there, and Nico gets there ahead of the Brazilian, pushing out to the captain Bernardo Silva under pressure. Excellent tackle though. Vinicius Junior in the box, tripping in the box, but the referee has pointed to the spot, and it's going to be a penalty within the opening couple of minutes here. And already VAR are going to have to get involved to see what's what here. Ruben Diaz is protesting innocence. Vinicius Junior driving into the penalty area, leaving Clement Turpin very little to do but to point to the spot. And it was a wonderful tackle from Garcia first of all. And they are going to have to check, because from what I've seen in the little monitor in front of me, I think the connection has been made just outside the box by Matheus Núñez. Now, he has caught the left foot of Vinicius Junior with those bright yellow boots. But I think that VAR's going to have a look at this to see if the penalty is going to be given. And he is pointing to the spot. And so it looks like a penalty is going to be awarded. They judge this to be just inside of the penalty area. Núñez just swiping at the leg of Vinicius Junior. He's always looking to invite that pressure and tempt defenders into something that they shouldn't be doing. Now we wait to see exactly who's going to be taking this penalty. And it has not been given a penalty. VAR have ruled it as a foul outside of the penalty area. So this one has been ruled as a free kick. And I think rightly so as well. I do think that he caught the foot just on the outside, so it is going to be a free kick instead. It's looking to be a 4-man wall for Manchester City, one of which is a draft excluder at the back. And a 5th has now joined. Looks like Phil Foden is taking up the duty of laying down on the surface here at the Bernabeu. All the Madrid fans clad in white surrounding the pitch. Donnarumma in a bright pink goalkeeper number, just ordering where he wants that ball to be positioned. Donnarumma would love another taste of success in this competition, winning it last season for Paris Saint-Germain. Free kick taken quickly, driven in towards Donnarumma, deflected just wide of the goal, and that is going to be a corner. Valverde striking the opportunity, and it's going to be a corner. Real Madrid starting this game brightly, with Rodrigo just laying the ball off cutely for Valverde to strike, but catching the underside of Manchester City feet, and it is going to be a corner taken on this near side. Dani Ceballos, the former Arsenal man, will take this. It's just his second start in the Champions League this season. That right arm raised, right footed delivery, swung out towards the 6-yard area, headed away though, but only as far as the City, and that one's a poor strike of the ball from the Madrid player lying in wait. And now Doku with a ball out wide, and there is a real chance now for Manchester City to break as players clamber forward in City green and back in Real Madrid white. But enough opportunity and press put on, and the Man City players are waiting for a free kick to be given. But they're not going to get it. The referee has allowed play to continue. They're just now passing the ball between themselves inside the Madrid half. The City ball at feet right on that touchline on the far side, over halfway into the Madrid half. 5 minutes into the game, Madrid 0, City 0. Shout for a penalty, ruled out for a free kick instead. As Gvardiol has the ball now halfway inside the half on this near side. Short pass towards Doku. Doku looking to attack Valverde, the captain. Short pass back inside towards Nico Gonzalez, further across towards the guilty party, Nunez. And Nunez now to Cherki. The speedy Frenchman inside to Gonzalez, just 5 yards from the edge of the Madrid penalty area. Well won back though by Madrid, holding their composure to stop that City press. As Vinicius Jr. just plays a ball back, switched out wide to this near side. Valverde to chase to keep the ball in play, does well. Doku nearby company, Valverde forced further back towards Asensio. And Asensio back towards the all-blue clad Thibaut Courtois. Tall goalkeepers this evening, 6'5" is Courtois, 6'4" is Donnarumma. They're not shy or far from the crossbar between those two goals this evening. As that throw-in is taken quickly for Man City, back towards Gvardiol, off the edge of the centre circle. Ruben Diaz on the ball. Be looking for some good movement up that side there. Ball played in by O'Reilly, edge of the area, but just taken away by the pressure from Carreras. As Madrid are feeling a little bit of pressure now from that moment of play, but that's a good ball played at this near side touchline. Rodrigo driving into the half. Good ball across towards Vinicius Jr. Flicked over Donnarumma and just wide of the goal. And another good opportunity again for the Brazilian. He is looking very likely and full of confidence this evening in Madrid. Rodrigo threading in a beautiful ball that initially came from Vinicius Jr. inside of their own half, knocked on further from Garcia, the young man with a sensational summer across the pond in the Club World Cup, and Vinicius Jr. just not quite angling that opportunity enough. As it just swerved wide of the nearest post to where the Brazilian was situated. But a good start to this game, end to end. We expected it to be lively, and it has been that, as Doku has won the ball back on the halfway line, but the referee this time calls it back for a foul. That one on Ceballos. Doku very much displeased, felt that there was little in that, but the Frenchman not hesitant at all to call the free kick there. And Doku, yeah, just getting a bit too much on that on Ceballos. For Real Madrid, they have so many injuries added up. 7 injuries in total for them, and 7 injuries that you would think would be starters as well. But very notably, Kylian Mbappe rested. He is on the bench, the top scorer. Felt that he picked up a niggle in the game, that loss against Celta Vigo here in the weekend in La Liga. A real shock, that 2 red cards in the process of that game, coming for Carreras and Endrick. So 2 red cards and an ill-disciplined contest that certainly piled the pressure and turned the temperature gauge up on Alonso. Garcia in towards Vinicius Jr. driving in towards the edge of the area, shepherded by the Manchester City defenders, forcing him further out. But wonderful composure from Diaz, dispossessing the Brazilian as City try to build up on the floor. Ball out from any sort of pressure. Played up that far side touchline. Cherki now driving into the Madrid half on that far side, evading Rudiger, and a strong tackle there though, back from Bellingham, looking to dispossess that oncoming threat and run. It's a real bag of tricks. Rayan Cherki, signed in the summer from Lyon. He's played 43 minutes in the Champions League in total, but he has got a goal to his name, which isn't a bad return. This is now an opportunity again to drive up that far side touchline. Cherki looking to get on the ball, but Carreras with a strong tackle back. An ever-growing presence within the Real Madrid starting 11. The young fullback who did pick up that red card at the weekend. As O'Reilly has the ball on the halfway line for Manchester City, just keeping it amongst themselves at the moment. Approaching 10 minutes into the game, the score: Real Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. 0-0 across the board in all the Champions League games so far this evening. And the next couple of games after this really are the business end of the Champions League. For Real Madrid, they have Monaco and Benfica left as Doku picks up the ball on the edge of the area. Haaland looking to get there in the middle as well, but a good tackle though, taking the ball away. That one again by Carreras, and Carreras now with the ball on the far side. Short pass up towards Bellingham on the touchline, looking to build away from Nunez, pulled back in the process by the Englishman, and there's going to be a free kick. So Real Madrid's next games in the Champions League. They place Monaco here in the 20th of January, and then Benfica a trip to Lisbon on the 28th. And for Manchester City, they've got Bird Glimt trip to Haaland and Bob's homeland. That one on the 20th of January, and then the visit of Galatasaray on the 28th. So you would have to say, looking at those fixtures, Man City's are slightly more favourable, and if they can get a victory here this evening, putting them ahead of Madrid, you'd be forgiven in thinking that they would be planning for life in that automatic top 8 spot. And they themselves are playing this weekend against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park in the Premier League, now just 2 points behind Arsenal, so right back in the chase for the Premier League title. That's a wonderful repossession of the ball with Rodrigo building up, but tackled on the halfway line. Looks like we might even be seeing our first card of the game, and it does go the by way of Phil Foden. So Foden, he is the first to enter the referee Clement Turpin's book this evening. And that one tackled right on the halfway line on the Brazilian Rodrigo. He's yet to score in the Champions League. But in the Champions League, his record is very strong. He scored in over a third of all of his games. But if they need that firepower, you know exactly who Xabi Alonso is going to call on to. Mbappe scoring all 4 goals in Athens against Olympiacos. Top scorer in the Champions League and in La Liga as well. Erling Haaland 4 behind him in this competition, but top of the pyramid in the Premier League. And slipping there was Gvar himself. The Madrid arms raised in the air and followed shortly as the assistant's flag as well, and it will be an offside from Haaland coming back to collect that ball. This free kick taken just inside their own half, but cheaply given away as Foden picks up the ball just on the centre circle in the Madrid half and finds that short pass towards Cherki, getting a little bit more game time as well, the Frenchman. Him and Doku providing plenty of pace and options for Manchester City out wide to feed the dominant presence that is Erling Haaland. Haaland actually has played more minutes than any other player for Man City in the Champions League this season. The City just keeping the ball amongst themselves in that central third of the field here at the Bernabeu. Madrid looking the more likely and had better opportunities. They had that penalty shout in the opening 2 minutes of the game. Vinicius Junior felt he was tripped, which he was, but that one just outside of the penalty area. Ball looped in for O'Reilly to chase. Headed away there by Asensio as Madrid clear the ball further away out of their own danger, finding only Gvardiol on the halfway line. City still in possession. Doku halfway in the Madrid half on this near side. Rodrigo nearby company with wonderful skill and trickery from Doku. Short pass in the middle for Foden to chase. But just about getting there first is Valverde as Courtois pumps the ball away from any sort of threat. Doku with a cheek flick inside, very cheeky, but Foden not quite able to read on that, slipping underfoot as Leverkusen have taken the lead at home against Newcastle United, so that no 1-0. Courtois needs to be careful here, and he just about plays the ball away from any sort of coming pressure. But doing well there is Garcia, Gonzalo Garcia, the young man, 21 years old. Yet to start, so this is his first appearance in the Champions League. He's got 1 assist, yet to score a goal. Had a phenomenal summer in America in spotlight. And there are a number of players from the Madrid youth system on the bench. Valdepeñas, who's a defender, as well as Martinez and Sestro Sancho, having to dig into their reserve numbers to make up for those injured players, as Doku with wonderful jinking feet just towards the edge of the area, playing inside but deflected away, and now Rodrigo with a chance to break up this near side touchline. Strong tackle there though, and the referee is going to have to see what we're going to give here for the ref, and it looks like it is going to be a free kick. Gvardio diving in on Rodrigo, who was looking to break away. And Rodrigo just feeling the full force and strength of the Croatian right in front of Xavi Alonso. And that free kick is taken quickly back towards the comfort of the Real Madrid players inside of their own half. So Mbappe an option on the bench, as is Arda Güler. And Mastantuono another viable option on the bench for Xavi Alonso if they so need it. They are really stretched deep in terms of digging into the reserves, as O'Reilly flies into a tackle with Valverde. That free kick is taken quickly, play continuing with that ball out wide. And now an opportunity to break with Carreras. He's got Vinicius Jr. out wide, finding the Brazilian short, edge of the area. Vinicius Jr. driving into the penalty area, deflected away. Just about gathering that one up though is Donnarumma. Vinicius Jr. thinks that was a pass back. I don't think you're going to get that one, Vinicius Jr., I'm afraid to say. As Donnarumma rolls it short towards Nico O'Reilly, who's looking to drive out of his own half and into the Madrid one. Short pass from Doku, deflected away by Ceballos, and a throw-in for Manchester City right in front of Pep Guardiola. 15 minutes into the game here, Madrid 0, Manchester City 0. 0-0 across the board in all the other games, aside from the one at Leverkusen where they lead 1-0 against Newcastle. And it really does get, with the new league phase in the Champions League, it becomes really exciting in those final two games about who's going to be finishing where, and in particular when it gets to the final one. But now a chance for Rodrigo halfway inside the City half, but shepherded by surrounding players in Manchester City green, forcing him back into the centre circle. Wonderful play and composure. 1-2 with Bellingham. Short pass towards Vinicius Jr., edge of the area on the far side, turning away from the players. Wonderful towards the byline, in towards the centre, deflected away. And the Real Madrid players want a penalty. They want a handball. They are really picking and prodding away at Clement Turpin, who wants to be a referee. But he's far experienced enough to know exactly what is what. Could never give a penalty for that. Nunez just coming in to chase that ball in, completely behind him, catching the underside of his forearm. But it is going to be a second free kick of the evening for Real Madrid. This one, though, taken on the further side. And it is going to be Ceballos to take this right arm raised. This one with his right foot swung into the penalty area. Swung right into the centre. Headed away, though, there by Gvardio. Good header, dominant away. As all of the players now build out from the penalty area. Carreras with the ball just off the centre circle inside that City half. Finding Bellingham now, 15 yards into the half, turning away from the City press. And the ball further back to Asensio, who plays out wide towards Rodrigo. Rodrigo, short pass back. He's got Vinicius Jr. nearby for company. The Brazilian on the ball, finding his fellow countryman in Rodrigo. Rodrigo driving away from a strong sliding tackle and a foolish tackle, giving away a free kick. This one around 12 yards from the very edge corner of the far side of the area. And a good opportunity, this one, for Real Madrid to put a dangerous delivery into the box. Nico Gonzalez just sliding in, almost sandwich catching between himself and Silva, the right leg of the Brazilian. And a free kick here in a position of some danger for Real Madrid. They're certainly the ones asking more of the questions at the moment. City having to do a lot of digging deep, and in particular with the injuries, that might be frustrating Pep Guardiola. Because he surely would have thought there'd be more attacking intent from his side. Well, Marmoush on the bench. Aït-Nouri as well as an aggressive wing-back option, but it is going to be Rodrigo to take this, right-footed, swung, good ball into the box, played inside from a Rudiger header, and that one just going beyond the far post of Courtois and going out for a goal kick. As Dortmund have taken the lead at home against Werder Glimt, so that is Dortmund 1, Werder Glimt 0, Leverkusen 1, Newcastle United 0. This one here 0-0 still. As that one easily going far wide of Donnarumma's goal. That one headed on by Tchouameni, the resilient central midfielder and French international. The City finally have found a pass to Haaland, but immediately dispossessed. Haaland's been a mere passenger in these opening 20 minutes of the game. as the home side win themselves a throw in 10 yards into the City half on the further side. And I've got to say, I didn't really expect this much intensity and drive from Real Madrid. You read the reports, especially in pages like La Masia, about how the Madrid manager has lost the changing room and how they're plotting and planning different routes for managers around him. These players are playing a wonderful style of that classic Real Madrid football, as Vinicius Jr. has fed the ball up from Carreras. Halfway into the City half on that far side, again they come for another opportunity. Bellingham, switched ball to this near side out to Rodrigo, cute touchdown. O'Reilly shepherding nearest. Just turning away from the fake opportunity, back in though, swung in by Ceballos, headed by Gvardiol, but only out to Vinicius Jr. on the further side of the box. Looking to build in with a little pass inside, jinking away, but City do retrieve the ball. Haaland now, tripped as he's trying to break away and winning a free kick for Manchester City that's taken quickly up the far side touchline now, looking to drive away as there's continuing of pulls back, but still referee allowing play to continue as Bernardo Silva plays a quick 1-2 out wide. City just slowing down play now instead of trying to force players up. There weren't enough numbers up in Manchester City green. The City are forced back now, just holding onto the ball off of the centre circle. Benfica have taken the lead at home against Napoli, so that would be a vital victory if they can find that for Jose Mourinho. He will of course be welcoming his former side Real Madrid to Benfica in the final round of fixtures in the group stage of the Champions League. City just holding onto the ball. They need to get some time on the ball, City. They haven't had much of it, which is very much not in their remit as a side that are deeply rooted in possession-based play through Pep Guardiola. They've been chasing the game throughout, but a good driving run from Gonzalez tripped, and it is going to be a free kick for City that's taken quickly by Gonzalez. Thread up that far side. Silva looking to keep the ball in play and does just about in the corner flag, shepherded by Carreras. Silva, ball pumped back towards Nunez. Nunez, quick 1-2 passes, edge of the area. Gonzalez, who won that free kick, on the ball 10 yards from the box. Good structure from Real Madrid, just forcing the City players towards sideward passes. And just down now off the edge of the area is Asensio. The referee is blown up. Haaland is stood nearby. I don't exactly know what's happened, but Asensio has gone down and Haaland is just sort of shrugging, holding out his arms. I don't really know what's happened here. So Haaland has just pushed Carreras with one arm forcibly to the ground. He's a big boy, Haaland. I wouldn't exactly want him pushing me with force to the ground. So no wonder Asensio hit the deck. But I think the referee is just having a word between the City striker and the Madrid centre-back now. As Stephanie Frappart is having a word with Pep Guardiola about what's happened. I think Pep's just trying to get some clarification from Stephanie Frappart. Just checking what's going on between the two of them. Stephanie Frappart, also a very experienced official. One of the few female officials to officiate high-level European men's fixtures, and the leading light of refereeing in the women's game as well, as Madrid switch the ball on the further side, still inside their own half. Carrera, short touchdown. Cherki keeping nearby company, ball threaded up for Vinicius Jr., but Nunez gets there ahead of the Brazilian. Diaz clearing the ball away from any sort of pressure as Madrid look to keep it on with an immediate pull bump back inside. Garcia, edge of the area, touching beyond from Diaz, but Diaz just getting there ahead of the young man, and a strong slide in from Bellingham. Good pressure again from Madrid as they look to make this count for something, but City get the ball away under little pressure now on this nearer side. And O'Reilly, halfway inside of his own half, was looking to break further and earlier, but there were no City players really lingering to offer any form of an opportunity. As Bernardo Silva plays a ball, quick 1-2 between himself and Nunez, still halfway inside their own half, the two Portuguese finding one another. And City definitely more stuttered and staggered in their build-up approach, not like we normally see in the Premier League, but Doku now with the ball just inside of the Madrid half on this nearer side. And forced again back to Gonzalez, quick 1-2 passes, they're fine passes, but there's no real progression from Manchester City in breaking further towards the Real Madrid half of the field. And Nunez now with a wonderful driving run towards the edge of the area, but the Madrid players just surrounding him conveniently enough. Carreras putting in the good final touch. As Rudiger has the ball and plays it first time up the touchline for Vinicius Jr. to chase, but Diaz gets there first, heading straight towards Garcia on that halfway line. Garcia, heavy touch, finding Vinicius Jr. And inside towards Bellingham, but a strong tackle away from the English midfielder. And now Valverde, halfway into the City half, plays a ball out wide towards Rodrigo off the edge of the area on this near side. Jinking the ball away from O'Reilly with a short pass back towards Ceballos. As they build again on the floor, switching to the further side. Similar in style to City. Carreras on the ball, 5 yards from the edge of the penalty area on that further side, taking away from the pressure of the City defenders and back towards Rudiger. Tchouaméni now off the centre circle, switching across towards Asensio. On this near touchline, halfway inside Rodrigo, quick 1-2, wonderful play. Rodrigo first time into the box, but far too much on that though for Vinicius Junior, but well kept in play though as Madrid come yet again. Garcia, short pass towards Carreras, edge of the area, further out towards Tchouaméni. Madrid continuing to try and find those opportunities to unlock the City defence. Tchouaméni, ball into the box, headed away by the City defenders. City will be desperately hoping they can cling on as Vinicius Junior puts some good pressure under, but Donnarumma clearing the ball away from any sort of threat. Straight though to players in Madrid white, as Arsenal have taken the lead away in Belgium against Club Brugge, so they continue both their fine form domestically and internationally. As Bernardo Silva is putting the chase on as the ball goes back towards Courtois. Rare touches of the ball for the tall Belgian. As those Madrid fans all clad in white, waving a large white and purple flag behind the goal that the Belgian has stood in front of. As Nunez looks to get there ahead of the Brazilian and does well, keeping the ball in play under pressure. Vinicius Junior looks lively and full of it this evening. He definitely hasn't had his final say or so in this game. There's plenty more to come from him, but wonderful skill from O'Reilly, breaking away from Valverde on this near side. Short pass towards Doku, halfway inside of the Madrid half. Doku slowly building in towards the area, shepherded by the surrounding players in Madrid white. Back out wide towards O'Reilly off the edge of the area. Quick 1-2 between the two of them. Good play from Doku into the centre, but deflected, taking the sting out of it, and Tchouaméni first time pumping the ball away. As Gonzalez plays a short pass out wide towards Bernardo Silva, finding nearby company of Nunez. Two quick passes between the Portuguese City contingency, finding the near one of the Spaniard Nico Gonzalez. And a chance now for City to try and get themselves into this Madrid third. They've not had too many chances, 25 minutes gone, Madrid 0, City 0. And now there's a chance for City to break in and towards that final third. Foden jinking away from the Madrid players, and a good strong tackle from Garcia, but far too firm on that one though, according to Clermont Turpin. As Man City win themselves a free kick a couple of yards from the centre circle inside of the Madrid half. Foden just bundled to the ground by Gonzalo Garcia. And Haaland not utilised at all in the opening exchanges so far in this game. He's been a mere passenger. He might have even had fewer touches than Courtois in this game, so that's telling you something. As Gvardiol has the ball just off the centre circle inside of the Madrid half. Doku is nearby on the near side, finding the Belgian with that short pass. O'Reilly's up the touchline as Doku is driving himself towards the edge of the area, away from Valverde, ball into the box, but Madrid pump a ball away. Not very convincingly though, switching to the further side as Silva puts the pressure on Carreras, and Carreras doing brilliantly to get away from the City captain, continuing his fine form in a Madrid shirt. Short inside towards Garcia. Bellingham now, 10 yards into the City half. He's got the option of Rodrigo, finding him off the edge of the area on this near side, driving into the box. That's a wonderful finish from Rodrigo. Wonderful play from Real Madrid, and they have been looking at that all game long so far. It's beautiful build-up play from the Capital Kings, and it is Madrid 1, Manchester City 0. Excellent play, spearheaded and started by Carreras, finding the ball inside towards Bellingham, who found the Brazilian Rodrigo out wide, and what a much-needed goal that is for Rodrigo, adding his 26th in the Champions League and his first this season in 4 games. He has been in dire need of finding the back of the net this season. But it all started from Carreras jostling that pressure away from Bernardo Silva inside of his own half and carrying the ball out with just real intent and drive. And Bellingham just waiting for the right moment to play the ball towards Rodrigo, timing it brilliantly. Rodrigo towards the edge of the area, striking across Donnarumma at what was becoming an ever tighter angle. And it is Madrid 1, Manchester City 0. fully deserved for the home side. They have been fully on top of this game. City chasing this one, and you can see exactly how much it means to Rodrigo, given the Real Madrid players circling him, delighted for him as well. He is such a talent, Rodrigo. He's only 24 years of age as well. But Madrid taking the lead on the 28th minute. And so far Mbappe can keep that seat warm, because they're not going to need him yet, as Courtois comes flying out to head a ball away, not convincingly at all. Doku putting the pressure on Valverde, and that one does go out for a throw-in. As the temperatures are rising actually here between Asensio and Doku, the two of them just need to be separated now by Valverde. And City have been chasing this game. No wonder they're frustrated. They simply cannot get a stranglehold in this one. And now Nico Gonzalez is coming over to get involved. The referee just needs to tell everyone to calm down here. But on the 28th minute, we do see the first goal of the evening. Rodrigo finding the back of Donnarumma's net. And so in the last 12 games in the Champions League, they have been beaten 6 times. And they've only won 1 of 6 on the road, Manchester City. So at the moment, this is very much going to form. So they will be desperately looking to change that. There are actually more meetings of these two teams from when they first played each other on the 18th of September than any other side, as Rodrigo has now gone down to the deck right in front of the referee Clement Turpin before this throw-in was going to be taken. And he just went down like he'd been shot, and it looks like it's actually going to be a free kick potentially now. The physio team coming right on to check Rodrigo, and the last thing that Xavi Alonso is going to need is more players added to the injury table. And Rodrigo, just seeing it now in the monitor, he went to offer a quick opportunity for Valverde, but in doing so he slipped under himself and he's actually almost jolted his hip. He's gone down immediately holding his right hip, the Brazilian. So this would be a disastrous response to him giving Madrid the lead if he wasn't able to continue. He has gone towards the touch and he seems to be moving okay. But Rodrigo going down under the weight of his own turn. So play will resume with a throw-in. This one for Madrid, halfway inside their own half on this nearer side. Valverde holding that white and black striped Champions League ball. As Stefan Frappart just holds on to Rodrigo, waiting for the opportunity to bring him back on. And there goes the official's call to bring the Brazilian, the goal scorer, back into the play. As Nunez has the ball and is forced all the way back under the pressure from Vinicius Junior towards Donnarumma. Half an hour gone, Madrid 1, Manchester City 0. That goal on the 28th minute from Rodrigo. Glorious strike cut across the Italian goalkeeper, giving the home side a much deserved lead. As Silva and Nunez link up again on that right hand side, the two Portuguese players between them. Xavi Alonso animated on the touchline, Pep Guardiola deep in thought, processing what to do next. And ball threaded up for Haaland again, not able to chase that. Rudiger getting there ahead of the Norwegian. Plays the ball back towards Courtois, pumping the ball far and away from any sort of pressure or threat. City, do they have some sort of a response? They are the type to immediately get themselves back into games. But they are not shy of goals in games of recent date. 3-0, 4-5, 3-2. The previous 3 scorelines in the Premier League. Those games against Sunderland, Fulham and Leeds. All 3 of them victories as well for City. Ball threaded up now. Chance for Cherki to get the ball into the box, but heavy-headed on towards Haaland as Real Madrid pick up the ball comfortably in space off the edge of their own penalty area. And Carreras slipping as he plays the ball up for Garcia. Wonderful header from Garcia ahead of Gvardiol. As Vinicius Junior edge of the area, plays towards Bellingham. Bellingham struck across, but a good deflected ball away from City players. As Madrid were looking ever likely to potentially extend their lead further. Bellingham putting the chase on. He's full of running as well. And now a chance for City to potentially break up that far right-hand side. Cherki picking up the ball, shepherded by Carreras. Bernardo Silva, the captain, nearby. Cherki building away from the tackle, and a strong tackle in the end, giving away a free kick. And a free kick in a good position here for City. This one around 10 yards from the corner edge of the far side of the penalty area. So is there a chance now for Manchester City to unlock something and find the very tall, lofty head of Haaland? They looked to take that one quickly, but the referee called it back, and I actually think, personally, that was probably a bit more preferable. So if they can get that perfect ball onto Haaland, if he's there waiting, lying in wait, more often than not, it only finds one location, and then it's up to the graces of the goalkeeper. It looks like it is going to be Ryan Cherki who won the foul to take this free kick for City. Everyone lining up just inside the 18-yard area. So Cherki, a couple of deep inhalations. Rodrigo, the only wall. And that ball played into the penalty area, headed away by Tchouaméni. Still, City have the ball 15 yards from the edge of the box. Nunez, short pass out to the captain Silva. Quick 1-2 between the two of them on the centre circle, forced a little bit further back as Gvardiol has the ball, played first time towards O'Reilly. And O'Reilly 15 yards from the edge of the area. He's got Foden nearby but finds Doku instead from the touchline. Doku, slow, gathering in towards the byline, ball into the box, fizzed inside, and that one deflected out, and that is going to be a corner, the first corner of the game for Manchester City. As we have just over 10 minutes to go of the first half, Madrid 1, Manchester City 0. And is this the chance that City need to take? There haven't been many of them in this game so far. They've definitely been the passenger. There's Asensio just jeering up the crowd as he clears that ball away for a corner. It will be Cherki to take it on this nearer side. This one to be a right-footed ball swung into the penalty area. Those orange boots pumping into the far side of the box, headed in by Gvardiol, down, deflected, straight to the path of O'Reilly. And it is a one, and they've got the goal back, and it is O'Reilly who drops to his knees in the corner of the field, and Manchester City are back level in this game, almost out of nothing. They fell behind, slow build-up play in the process, but Courtois just fumbling the initial header from Gvardiol straight to the path of the English fullback, who had the simplest of jobs to touch it in beyond Courtois, who was rooted down on his line. And Nico O'Reilly has drawn Manchester City level. This is his 5th game in the Champions League. He's one of the few to have played in all the games, and that's his first goal in the competition as well. He's having a breakthrough year for both club and country, Nico O'Reilly. Another exciting young talent to add to Thomas Tuchel's pool next summer, as he has brought Manchester City back level. Wonderful consideration of right place and right time. But Gvardiol heading down aggressively to Courtois, and Courtois just simply laying it on a silver platter to O'Reilly as Madrid do get us back underway. And that is exactly what Pep Guardiola would have wanted. As Man City are back in this game on the 35th minute. He really is an exciting talent, is Nico O'Reilly. He grows more and more confident every single game he plays. And he is becoming such a real valid option for not just Manchester City, but also England in that left-back position. City youth player, he's only 20 years old, 6'3" as well. Big towering physical presence, plenty left to come from him too. So it's an exciting time for Nico O'Reilly's career. So much ahead of him. As Courtois has the ball just outside of his own penalty area, finding that short pass of Asensio, quick 1-2 between the two of them. City's tail seemingly a little bit more upwards as they've pushed players further forward. They were camping very deep throughout the game, and now they're looking a little bit more up for this one this evening, that they've got themselves level. As Nico Gonzalez just holds the ball away, but Vinicius Junior easily winning the ball back, finding the short pass of Garcia. Garcia ball out wide towards Bellingham, halfway into the City half. Is there a chance for Madrid to get back in front? Good ball threaded into Vinicius Junior, but far too heavy of a ball forward. Donnarumma shepherding that one away, and it is going to go out for a goal kick for Manchester City. Bellingham looking to link up yet again. His pass crucial in feeding Rodrigo to give Real Madrid the lead on the 28th minute. And very nearly finding the right pass then to feed Vinicius Junior on the other side of the penalty area. But as things stand, it is one apiece here, with Nico O'Reilly 3 minutes ago finding a leveller. As that ball is pumped far up the far side touchline. Rudiger to get there ahead of Haaland, putting the chase on. Haaland still continuing to not really have any sort of impact in the game whatsoever so far. As Valverde plays the ball up this near touchline, still inside their own half to Rodrigo. Good tackle from O'Reilly, going out for a throw-in for the home team just inside of that City half. And that one thrown back towards the sanctuary of Ceballos and Rudiger in plenty of space. Tchouameni out wide towards Rudiger, switching to the further side touchline for Carreras. 15 yards inside of their own penalty area. Madrid forced further back though. City more than happy to keep forcing them further back if it stops them from breaking into their third. So good at that, especially in the first half an hour of this game. It was all Real Madrid. But City have been allowed a little bit further back, and if you do that too often, as I'm sure Real Madrid know through their record with Pep Guardiola, he will punish you with that. This is his 28th game against them as a manager. As City have the ball halfway inside of that half through Gonzalez. Gonzalez, short pass out wide. City building slowly nearer towards the penalty area. Back towards Cherki, inside towards Gvardiol. Gvardiol switching to this near side towards Doku, 15 yards from the edge of the area. Now his turn to drive in, flicking the ball inside to O'Reilly, the goal scorer. Good ball into the box, bundled down in the middle is Haaland, who's got his hands in the air from Rudiger. Play allowed to continue though, as City continue to have another opportunity. Nunez out wide towards Bernardo Silva, shepherded by Bellingham, forcing inside the centre towards Gonzalez. And Gonzalez switching to Doku on this near side. Another chance for Doku to utilise his skill and pace to break into the penalty area. Electing to go short towards Gvardiol. Quick 1-2 between himself and Nico Gonzalez. Doku with the ball now. Rodrigo nearby company, leaving him rooted. Ball into the box first time, deflected away. And that one is going to go out for a corner for Manchester City. As Haaland goes over to have a word with the referee. Didn't seem to be too much on that from what I could see. Rudiger just keeping a physical local presence. As both him and Rudiger went down in the penalty area. Not too much on that though for me personally. VAR will have to have a look at it, but I can't see too much coming. As Haaland is growing a really increasingly frustrated figure this evening. They are checking this for VAR. You can tell that Haaland's getting frustrated. He constantly keeps coming into these little clashes and blows with surrounding players. Little sort of thrown frustrated arms and elbows nearby. And so this check is still ongoing. I think it could be I think it would be harsh. I'd like to see a closer one. We're going to get another view of this in the monitors in front of me. If Werder Glimt have equalised at Borussia Dortmund. Well, and the referee Clement Turpin is being referenced to go to the monitor for VAR. So Clement Turpin is going to have to have a look at this. Stephanie Frappart just keeping the respective dugouts away. That VAR position right in the centre of the two of them. Rudiger just holding on to the back of Haaland, and the referee's had a very quick look at this, making the signatory reference of the rectangle, and he has pointed to the spot. So it is going to be a penalty for Manchester City on the 42nd minute. Rudiger with a wide, very much non-bemused smile across his face. And it will be interesting to see who takes this. Erling Haaland won it. You would think he's the most likely candidate, and the referee even giving a yellow card out for his troubles as well. Rudiger cannot believe it, continues his protest. He needs to be careful because he's just received a yellow. And we saw what happened at the weekend with that game against Celta Vigo. All hell broke loose at the end of the game. 2 red cards, plenty of yellows issued to players on the bench. But an opportunity now for Erling Haaland to put City in front, 12 yards from where Courtois is situated. And this now an opportunity for Man City to take the lead for the first time this evening. Haaland, run up, wonderful strike with the left foot beyond Courtois as Manchester City have taken the lead. Haaland, cool and calm as you like, a wry smile, walking to the corner of the stand, fully occupied by Madrid fans as the Madrid players trudge towards their positions to restart play yet again. And Manchester City have taken the lead from the spot on the 42nd minute through Erling Haaland, his 6th goal in the competition. It's Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. And Erling Haaland strikes from the spot, winning that penalty initially, being bundled in the 6-yard area by Rudiger. And Haaland, he's got a fascinating run-up when he goes to the penalty. He's a tall man, Erling, 6'4". And he almost folds himself over entirely when going to strike the ball with his left foot. And still, as he gestures and walks back to the halfway line, he's got this almost smug grin across his face. And Rudiger is almost replying in kind, staring directly at the Norwegian. So I don't think we're going to see any end to that throughout this game. I'm sure there's plenty more to come between the two of them as Real Madrid get us back underway. Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. Under a minute to go of the regulation 45 in this first half. As Bellingham looks to head the ball up that touchline, Madrid now find themselves behind and in a position of real worry and concern, but they do win themselves a free kick on that far side, right on the touchline. Bellingham being tackled down towards the ground by Nunez. So this is a good opportunity for an immediate response for the home team. They did take the lead on the 28th minute, but it's taken Man City less than 15 to get themselves in front this evening in Madrid. The roof is closed in the Bernabeu as well. It will be Rodrigo, the goal scorer, to take this one with his right foot, swung into the penalty area, straight down the middle though for Donnarumma. As now it's the Madrid players' turn to protest on a penalty. Asensio gripping his shirt, but now Doku with the chance to break, threading a ball up towards O'Reilly. O'Reilly in the area, played across towards Haaland, but a straight save from Courtois. Follow-up shot, saved by Courtois again, and another glorious opportunity for Man City immediately after taking the lead. Courtois called upon twice, excellent from the Belgian. Is riveting from Man City, immediately breaking. All of the Real Madrid players were protesting with Asensio, felt he was pulled down in the penalty area. But Doku just got on with the game, threaded the ball up towards O'Reilly, who played it across the box. Haaland struck, Courtois saved, Nunez followed up, and Courtois saved again. And there are 3 minutes of time minimum added on as City throw the ball up the far side touchline, deflected away there from Carreras. This one to be a throw-in taken right in the corner of the field, deep in the Madrid half. And Courtois, gore was he needed there. As Nunez just waits for a couple of options. No real options though, taking his time. The Madrid fans very displeased with that as Cherki picks up on that throw-in. And a quick 1-2 between himself. Cherki playing back towards Gvardiol, halfway into the half, loop back out wide. Nunez as well to keep the ball in play, short towards Silva. Bernardo Silva, the captain, plays the ball into the area, but no one there to pick up on it aside from Courtois, rising highest with those black gloves of his. As we've got just over around a minute and a half to go of the minimum 3, half-time coming across European games. Athletic Bilbao 0, PSG 0, Benfica 1, Napoli 0, Juventus 0, Paphos 0. The only one so far where half-time whistles have gone. It's Club Brugge 0, Arsenal 1, Dortmund 1, Werder Glimt 1, Leverkusen 1, Newcastle 0, and the score here, Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. As Manchester City do have themselves a throw-in 10 yards inside of the Madrid half on the further side. Again, little movement from the City players, more than happy to take their time as they win they can win themselves a potential opportunity here. Madrid for a free kick, and they do win one themselves. With Cherki felt he was bundled down to the ground as it's now half-time in Lisbon. Benfica 1, Napoli 0. And Asensio felt that he was pulled down with Gvardiol dropping down. We just saw on the monitor here, but again we're just seeing the tremendous save from Courtois, just diving down to his left-hand side. And then an amazing follow-up save at that as well. So Courtois very much keeping Madrid alive this evening, as we've got around 20 seconds to go of the added 3 at the end of this first half. Is there one last chance for either side to get one more opportunity on the score sheet? And it looks like at the moment Madrid are just taking their time before pumping a ball long from Courtois. Vinicius Junior to chase. Diaz getting there first. Nunez taking no chances and clearing the ball away up the touchline, finding Bernardo Silva, who turns away brilliantly. And is there a chance now for City to get one last attack? Wonderful tackle from the back though there from Carreras. And there goes the referee's whistle for half-time. It's Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2 in what has been a lively first half, starting almost with a VAR check for Madrid on a penalty. But then Madrid taking the lead on the 28th minute through Rodrigo. And then just 7 minutes later from the first corner of the game for City, O'Reilly finding the back of the net from the deflected push away from Courtois. And then Haaland fouled in the penalty area by Rudiger, that was checked by VAR and given as a penalty. And the tall Norwegian striking the ball cool and calm as you like beyond the Belgian. So the score here is Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. And we will resume the rest of this live audio service in just over 10 minutes' time.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Tonight's Champions League contest here at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Real Madrid are currently trailing 2-1 to English side Manchester City. The goal coming on the 28th minute for Real Madrid to give them the lead through Rodrigo, his first goal of the campaign as well, fed by Bellingham after the break from Carreras. But shortly afterwards, just 7 minutes later, Nico O'Reilly followed up from a parade effort from Courtois straight to the middle of the Englishman's foot, who had the easy opportunity to tuck the ball beyond the Belgian. And then Erling Haaland converted from the spot on the 42nd minute after a check from VAR. Haaland bundled down in the penalty area by Rudiger. And then Haaland himself stepping up to take matters into his own hands as both sets of teams are now emerging from the tunnel here below me at the Bernabeu and onto the field. Recently had their renovations done here in Madrid. They've got that highly impressive sort of surrounding wrap screen at the very top by the roof that is enclosed this evening. Just waiting to see if there's any changes or any sort of signs of movement from the Real Madrid team. None as of yet. But the Man City team I can now see are getting ready to make their way down the stairs and out of the tunnel. So see if any changes are made, but there are some notable options for Madrid on the bench, most notably by Kylian Mbappe. He's got 9 goals in 5 games, 4 of which did come in their most recent game, that 4-3 victory in Athens against Olympiacos. But it is indeed Erling Haaland who has pulled another one closer, now 3 behind Mbappe, converting from the spot. As Manchester City currently in a good position. Games are kicking off as well around the rest of the Champions League games this evening. It's Athletic Club 0, PSG 0, Benfica 1, Napoli 0. Players just resumed in Brugge, Club Brugge 0, Arsenal 1. Borussia Dortmund 1, Werder Glimt 1. Werder Glimt the next opponent for Manchester City as well. They travel to the very north of Europe, home of Haaland and of Oscar Bob, who is on the bench. Juventus kicked off again, they're 0-0 with the Cypriot champions Paphos. Leverkusen 1-0 up at home against Newcastle United. So all the other games have kicked off this evening. This one, the last one to restart, as Erling Haaland has a quick word with Vinicius Junior just down to his side. Just having a chat with one another. Seems to be a relatively friendly conversation. I'm sure the two of them will be looking to face one another as Clément Turpin gets us back underway with the whistle. Real Madrid will be kicking off from right to left in their all-white strip, with Manchester City kicking from left to right in their all-green chain strip. The lineups are Courtois in goal, with Valverde the captain, Asensio, Rudiger and Carreras at the back. In midfield for Madrid is Ceballos, Tchouameni and Bellingham. And then in attack, Rodrigo, the goal scorer, alongside the young man Gonzalo Garcia and Vinicius Junior. And on the bench for them is Mbappe, notably, as well as Endrick and Mastantuono. And then for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, it's an unchanged side as well. Donnarumma in goal, with O'Reilly, the goal scorer, Gvardiol, Diaz and Nunez at the back. Foden, Nico Gonzalez and Silva, the captain, in the middle. And then Doku and Cherki either side of the man who has given City the lead. Erling Haaland and Arsenal, we're talking of leads, have now gone 2-0 up in Belgium away to Club Brugge. So it's now Club Brugge 0, Arsenal 2. Manchester City now only 2 points behind Arsenal in the Premier League, after Arsenal dropped points against Aston Villa, and Manchester City picked up a superb 3-0 win against a flighty and feeling mighty Sunderland. And for Real Madrid, their next game in La Liga will be against Deportivo Alaves, that one away from home. They're now 4 points behind the league leaders Barcelona, looking to not be second fiddle 2 years on the spin. As Cherki has the ball in the centre circle, ball played up for the chase from Silva but deflected away as Rudiger plays that ball out wide to this near side towards Carreras. Carreras just inside of their own half, finding the nearby option of Ceballos. Benfica now 2-0 up at home against Napoli. A much needed win this would be for Jose Mourinho. The last game of the group of the league phase for Madrid would be in Lisbon against Benfica, their former manager Jose Mourinho. Haaland putting pressure on Carreras and doing well to win the ball back, but I think receiving the ball in a bit of not too nice area. But Foden playing the ball up, Mancini getting on with it. Silva now with the ball halfway into the Madrid half. Short pass out wide on this nearest side towards Cherki. Cherki just slowing down and flicking the ball out of players. Haaland is dropped down with a very pained expression on his face. I don't think you need me to tell you exactly where the ball went, but he is just down sort of, well, he's almost bent over in a very dramatic fashion. He must have really made some contact, as Newcastle have been awarded a penalty in Germany away to Bayer Leverkusen. And yeah, just seeing on the monitor, Carreras did put the ball in a place of significant discomfort, so Haaland slow to get up to his feet. He has got a smile on his face, so you've got to give him that, Haaland. He's a big boy. I'm sure he'll be able to walk that one off, as he just trudges up into the Madrid half, still with that pained expression, sort of like hunched over himself. I'm sure he'll be fine. He can play through it, I'm sure. Gvardiol on the ball. Short pass, quick 1-2 between himself and Foden, back to the creation and further back towards Donnarumma inside of his own penalty area, with plenty of space and little pressure from the Madrid attacking players. Garcia now showing some intent, but Donnarumma easy to get that one away, and Haaland leaping in the air like nothing has happened and winning a good header, heading it on to the captain Silva. Silva ball out wide towards Doku, edge of the area on the further side, now driving into the box, shepherded by players in towards the byline, twisting and turning away, opening up and on City, flicked inside, Rudiger heading away from Haaland. As Madrid now clear the ball away, Dortmund taking the lead. They're now 2-1 up again, back in front against Werder Glimt. Newcastle missing their penalty against Leverkusen, so that one's still 1-0 to the German side. As Cherki has the ball and plays short back towards Gvardiol. Gvardiol into the centre circle to the scorer of City's first goal, O'Reilly. Short pass towards Foden, 6 yards inside of the Madrid half on that further side. The two Englishmen just keeping the ball between themselves, and Newcastle have scored from the spot. That goal has now been given, so it's now Newcastle back level with Leverkusen, as Doku has the ball halfway inside of the Madrid half on that further side. Madrid players just feeling a bit more curious and pushing further upfield as well, still holding that 4-3-3 shape. But they do need to be careful, because with that pace that City have out wide through Doku and Cherki, they can really make you pay for it if you give them too much space and opportunity in behind. Gvardiol just taking his time with a short pass out wide. Foden threading a ball up towards Doku to chase. Who's going to get there first? The Belgian does, ahead of Asensio. Now driving into the penalty area on that side. Played across. Silva with the first time opportunity, but a good tackle from Carreras, who's been a solid unit at the back, and now doing it himself to drive away from the City players. Good pass up this touchline on the near side. Vinicius Junior keeps the ball in play. Halfway into the City half. Played across to the back of the area towards Rodrigo. Short pass out wide. Bellingham in the box. Bellingham flicked inside, but far too heavy from Bellingham. He strikes the ball, he strikes the surrounding advertising board in frustration, but that is a lot more like it for Real Madrid, catching them on the break. And again, similar to their goal, it all started through their fullback Carreras. He is having an absolutely superb season for Real Madrid, a real bright spark for them. And Rodrigo just laying that ball off to Bellingham, who looked to do the dink over Donnarumma, but far too heavy of an opportunity, far too heavy of a clip, high over the bar. Bellingham striking the advertising hoarding with his right foot, head in hands. And that is a glorious opportunity for Real Madrid to get back in this one. But the score now on the 50th minute is still Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. And that Madrid's 6 of 10th on the goal, just the 5 for City. 2 of those 5 finding the back of the net, and that is the most important stat of them all. Rodrigo turning away from Doku, but a good tackle from the Belgian, dispossessing. Cherki now with the ball halfway into the centre of the Madrid half, up towards Haaland on the edge of the area. Good pass, threaded inside, and it's fallen towards Cherki in the box, jinking away, struck opportunity beyond Courtois, but a good save from Courtois, just getting a strong hand behind himself to stop that one from going into the back of his net. And Cherki with a good opportunity to extend that City lead further. It's an excellent save from Courtois, deflected, but now Bellingham drives in towards the edge of the City area, short towards Rodrigo on the further side. Rodrigo turning away from O'Reilly, waiting for opportunities. Bellingham slipping, Rodrigo striking, but just wide of the goal. And Rodrigo had to do it himself. Bellingham falling, offering that opportunity and that option out wide. But the Brazilian doing it all himself instead. And that one will be comfortably flying over Donnarumma's goal. It's end-to-end stuff in this second half. You feel that the next goal in this one would be vital. If it went the way of City, you can only see them taking it further away from Madrid. So Madrid have got to get that next goal if they're going to make a real contest of this one. As Tchouaméni heads the ball high into the air, straight towards the captain Silva. Silva driving there, but Tchouaméni doing well to win the ball back under pressure from his fellow countryman Cherki, and winning a free kick on the halfway line. Back towards Rudiger, who plays it quickly back towards Thibaut Courtois. So as things stand, Pep Guardiola is going to be picking up a 14th win in 28 games. That's a 50% record in victories for Pep Guardiola as a manager against Real Madrid. Recently took charge of his 1,000th game as a manager in his career. And in fact, of all of those 555 of them, this one, the 556th, have been for Manchester City. That's more than Barcelona, Barcelona B and Bayern Munich combined. So such an ever-present notice of Pep Guardiola, highly regarded as one of the most successful and maybe the most successful club managers in particular in European football. With Vinicius Junior turning on a sixpence, 15 yards inside of the City half, but giving away a free kick according to the eyes of Clément Turpin, and Vinicius Junior just holds his hand out, not entirely sure why that was given. So there is going to be a free kick for Manchester City, but Real Madrid with 2 glorious opportunities in this first half. Gvardiol has the ball under pressure from Garcia, full of running still, the young man. No sign of Mbappe as of yet, as City look to build up the far side. Doku breaking away, but winning a free kick for his troubles. And Asensio the guilty party. This will be a free kick for City, 5 yards inside of that Madrid half on the further side. And Asensio just clinging on a little bit too long there to Doku's shirt, pulling him down to the ground. As now it's Xavi Alonso cutting the deep in thought and consideration figure on the dugout. Pep Guardiola very rarely stands. very rarely sits in the dugout. He's always stood up there. Doku, that's a strong tackle down, but Doku breaking away in the corner flag. Doku in the edge of the area on the further side, jinking away from the Madrid players. That was a strong tackle. Leg lifted high into the air to stop Doku from getting any further. But players allowed to continue as Madrid bait, but a wonderful tackle, that one from Foden, telling him to get up as he wins the ball off of Rodrigo. Nico Gonzalez, short pass back towards Gvardiol. Doku just bending over. I'm not surprised that he's feeling the effects of that. It was a real firm tackle, I believe, from Valverde on the further side. But Gonzalez on the halfway line now. Ball in City possession. Switching across the centre circle towards Nunez. Nunez towards this near side touchline towards Bernardo Silva. Now breaking in towards the edge of the area. Carreras shepherding. Them two having a good battle this evening. Carreras with some strong tackles and Bernardo Silva jinking away at every opportunity that he can. Cherki now just turning away from those Madrid players lying in wait. Arsenal now 3-0 up in Belgium. Ball deflected up the touchline, throw in for Man City. 5 yards from the level edge of the penalty area. And the time is surely going to come soon for Xavi Alonso to make a change. He's going to have to do something. He's going to keep his job. There is so much pressure and talk circling around his future. But that throw-in taken to Nunez. Fred up the touchline. Bernardo Silva turning away from Rudiger. Wonderful from the Portuguese player in the box. But finally, Real Madrid players get back in number to put the pressure on as Vinicius Junior plays the ball inside. Under pressure from Ruben Diaz and wins a free kick. Halfway inside of his own half on this nearer side. So this one, a free kick that has been taken quickly by Tchouaméni, finding Carreras the nearby option. Probably the brightest spark of the evening for Real Madrid so far, the young full-back. Feels like he's making up for that red card he picked up at the weekend. He's making amends for causing some anguish. Endrick, another one who picked up a red card against Celta Vigo, he is on the bench. Brahim Diaz, the former Manchester City man, also on the bench as an option. As Carreras just twists and turns away from Nunez on the halfway line on this near side. And I'm sure that Brahim Diaz will be itching to get on to show Pep Guardiola exactly what that he is missing. Signed for £15 million back in 2018 and 19. So I'm sure he would love to show exactly what's what. Only playing 15 times, but 2 goals scored. Plenty of promise with the Moroccan. As Madrid just hold on to the ball in the central third in that centre circle. Rudiger on the ball, taking it out wide to this near side touchline. Ball at feet. Finding the option of Carreras on the touchline. Halfway into the City half. Taking it further inside. Good threaded ball in away from Haaland to find Tchouaméni. And Asensio switching out wide towards Valverde. Struck into the box, deflected, goes straight to Gvardiol, who finds Foden, and now Doku again. Any opportunity he can take to drive away, he will. But that's a good tackle at the back though, but just to have been a foul there from Clement Turpin, and it is going to be a free kick. Garcia is adding up on this, and we are going to see the first change of the evening. It is going to be the young man, Gonzalo Garcia, making his way off for Arda Güler, the Turkish international. And so I'm sure that Arda Güler will switch out wide, and Rodrigo might be coming inside as that new striking option. So Güler is on the field for Garcia. He's put in a lot of effort tonight, the young man, Gonzalo Garcia, 21 years old, the Madrid youth boy. But Arda Güler is now to add a little bit of flair, so much promise in those Turkish feet of his. Gvardiol has the ball on the halfway line. Ball played up, looking for the near option, but deflected away from Rudiger, finding Cherki now. Cherki driving in towards the penalty area, flicked inside towards Haaland, flicked on, but a good hand again from Courtois. Courtois yet again needed. Still City keep on coming though. Ball out on the edge of the area on this near side. Bernardo Silva shepherded by Carreras. Short pass towards Cherki, building into the box. Wonderful footwork, but taken out by his own player as they look for penalties, but they can only look at themselves. Oh, and Bernardo Silva just taking out his own player as he drove further into the penalty area. And now is there a chance for Madrid to break as Vinicius Junior has a chance to build. He's got Rodrigo out wide as an option. Finding that option, who's going to get there first? O'Reilly gets there ahead of the goal scorer. Well composed from the young City fullback. And that could have been a glorious opportunity for Real Madrid to unlock on the counter. Donnarumma under pressure from Vinicius Junior finds that near option of Bernardo Silva on this nearer side. Two good opportunities back-to-back for either side. Silva now with the ball at his feet inside of the Madrid half. Nearby towards Cherki on the touchline. Halfway inside that half, again Carreras shepherding and putting in the hard work in that left-back position. Forced back towards Nunez, and Nunez inside towards Gonzalez. As Nico plays across towards O'Reilly. Moving further up into the field and into the Real Madrid third. Doku with the ball off the edge of the area on the far side. Again looking to drive an intent towards Valverde. Doku back towards O'Reilly, edge of the area. Quick 1-2 between himself and Nico Gonzalez. O'Reilly turning away from the good pressure from Bellingham, forcing Man City all the way further back into their own centre circle. Not too much movement up front. Haaland just sort of almost holding his place in the middle, waiting for those players like Cherki and Foden and Doku to make the runs either side of him. As now Silva has this ball halfway in the Madrid half on this near side, waiting for numbers to offer in support in green. And they've been forced all the way further back towards Donnarumma as Man City have got themselves 55% worth of possession. An hour gone here. Madrid 1, Man City 2. Those 3 goals all coming in the first half. Madrid looking lively in the second, but City looking to find those pockets and opportunities of space in and behind. As we just got to see on the monitor in front of us, Cherki looking to drive in, but tripped by his own captain. Must be unbelievably frustrating. Cherki really is a bag of tricks and a blistering pace as well. They've got that either side City, gifted with those players that they have at their disposal. As Gula plays a short pass towards Carreras, driving up this near side touchline into the City half. Ball into the box, but nobody there except for the tall, pink-clad figure of Donnarumma, who's actually forced his way further out to the far side, playing a ball up towards Doku. Doku does get there ahead of Asensio. Now he has a chance to drive at the centre-back. He's got the pace to drive away into the penalty area. Still shepherded, cutting inside. Opportunity! Pushed away though by Courtois, and that is going to be a corner. And yet again the Belgian comes to the aid of Madrid. If it wasn't for him this evening, there could be 4 or 5 by the way of a Man City goal. But Doku cutting and twisting and weaving away from Asensio, breaking into the box, striking with an opportunity, finding space, but Courtois' left hand just pushing the ball the other side of the post and receiving a much-deserved high five from Rudiger. As the City players get themselves into the box, it's going to be Foden to take this corner with his left foot on this near side, both those arms raised. The City players slowly make their way into the 6-yard area. Foden, left-footed delivery, low ball in, poor corner into the box. But City still have the ball from the clearance. Gonzalez out wide towards Foden. Short, quick one passes between Cherki and Gonzalez, shepherded by Ceballos. And now Foden switching play across the area and across the half. Nowhere near Doku. And that is going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid. And a wasted opportunity there, but Courtois coming to the aid of Real Madrid yet again. 33 years old, the 6'5" Belgian international. And he wasn't actually in the squad when they played against Olympiacos due to an illness. So Andre Lunin, who's on the bench, that was his one and only appearance all season. The Belgian featuring in all the games except for that one, as Haaland has the ball halfway into that Madrid half. Short option to Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez out towards Doku on the further side of the touchline. Juventus have broken the deadlock against Paphos at home. It's actually Juventus 1, Paphos 0. As Doku is just looping the ball back, deflected behind, and it's going to be a throw-in halfway into the Madrid half on the further side for City. And Xavi Alonso cutting an even more frustrated figure, almost pacing anxiously along the touchline inside of his dugout, almost picturing the headlines if this one is going to remain the same, as Doku looks to drive away. Now landing on the ball was Valverde, who outstretched to handle the ball, and Doku can't really believe it because he felt he was pulled down, and also that Valverde just handled the ball. But Madrid do have the free kick. Bellingham in the centre of the park, switching out towards Carreras on this near side, halfway into the City half. No real options, driving in towards Nunez, passed inside but not finding Bellingham as City pick up on that loose pass. Foden switching out towards Doku. Doku, heavy touch but still ball at his feet. Slowly moving in towards that half, waiting for numbers to get up in support. And he's got Silva nearby and finds the captain with a short pass. Silva even further back, as City are more than happy to take their time in waiting for numbers to get up. They're not just looking to drive with intent, as we are going to see Brahim Diaz coming on to face his former employer. He's just getting some last-minute instructions from Xavi Alonso. So we await to see exactly who he will be replacing, as Madrid win the ball on the halfway line, heading up towards Rodrigo, who plays it back towards their defenders. As it's just growing a little bit more stagnant for the home side here, as they're looking for something, but they can't find any sort of opportunity. As Carreras plays a 1-2 between himself and Ceballos inside of the City half. Now a chance to break with Rodrigo, driving into the edge of the area, but a good tackle in, dispossessing the Brazilian. Short to Doku, and Doku's going to have to try and do this all himself on that far side of the field. He's got three players around him from Madrid. Doku breaks away from one of them, now breaking away from the other, bundled down, and the referee is going to give a free kick for the push down there, and Doku finally wins a free kick for his troubles. Bellingham hands on hips. Big exhalation as Doku broke away from Güler, and Bellingham just getting right into the back with a little shove of the forearm into the small of Doku's back. And this one to be a free kick just over halfway into the Madrid half. Bellingham can't believe it, but I don't think he's got too much to argue for, as we await to see if this change will be made before the free kick for Real Madrid. Brahim Diaz ready to come on. And it looks like that change will happen after the free kick has been taken. Foden is on the ball at the moment. Players gathering around the edge of the 18-yard area. This free kick around 17 to 18 yards from the very edge of the penalty area on that further side. As Foden has that right arm raised again, left foot swung in low, headed comfortably away from Haaland. Now Rodrigo with a chance to play a ball long for Vinicius Jr. to chase onto. Gvardiol getting there first, clearing that ball away, and it is going to be a throw-in for Madrid halfway into the City half. The Vinicius Jr. is not taking quickly, waiting now for the change to be made. And it is going to be Brahim Diaz just waiting to come on for Ceballos. So Ceballos is off for Brahim Diaz. All hands to the pump now for Xavi Alonso and his team. No nod towards Mbappe to get the top goal scorer on, a potent threat. As Madrid throw it back towards their own defensive line and play the ball even further back towards Courtois, just outside of his own penalty area. So this one now halfway into the second half. Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. All three goals in the first half. Madrid started the second half brightly, but have slowed up a little bit more. City now looking the more likely to get the next goal in this game, and that next goal would be a vital one at that. And the last time that City won here, it was a 2-1 victory in 2020, with Gabriel Jesus and Kevin De Bruyne scoring those goals, Isco finding the net for Real Madrid. So this would be a victory after a period of some waiting for the blue side of Manchester. So two changes made for Xavi Alonso. Diaz and Güler on for Garcia and Ceballos. Doku turning away from Valverde on that far side. Wonderful skill again from the Belgian. Good pressure and tackle there though. Doku looking to win the ball back, but play allowed to continue. Diaz's first contribution is dispossessing the Belgian. Excellent tackle from the Moroccan as the players switch to this near side touchline. Rodrigo touching down right in front of Guardiola. And Rodrigo now ball into the City half, finding Diaz. Diaz out wide towards Vinicius Jr. Jr. playing now on that right-hand side. Tchouaméni playing the short pass towards Valverde. Valverde, pass up now. City having to defend with Madrid pressing in towards the edge of the penalty area. And City players now getting back in numbers and slowing down that passage of play into their third. As Rudiger plays a short pass in the centre towards Güler. Juventus now 2-0 up at home against Paphos, so taking that game away from the Cypriots. Still the scores remain the same around the cross of Europe. Tchouaméni dropping back almost into a central back role. I think they're going to try and push players further up the field. It's going to be a back three now, it looks like, of Tchouaméni, Asensio and Rudiger. Carreras and Valverde playing much higher up the field now. Tchouaméni almost playing in the centre of those three. As Asensio pumps the ball, switching it out to this near side touchline. Rodrigo heading up that line for Carreras to chase. Núñez getting there in front of the Spaniard. And that one adjudged to have been a foul. It's going to be a free kick for City, deep in their own half, right in the corner. And there are going to be 3 changes made at one fell swoop for Manchester City. And it looks like Reinders, Savinho and Marmouche are going to be coming on. As we just wait to see exactly who will be coming off for Manchester City for the 3 coming in. And Erling Haaland will be one of those. His number has been raised. So Marmouche, the most likely replacement for that one. Phil Foden also the next to make his way. And it is also going to be Ryan Cherki on, or off, sorry. So Marmouche on the field. The young man still yet to hit the ground running this season. But Savinho on, and Reinders actually got more assists for City this season in the Champions League. 3 so far in the now 6 games that he is being played. So Reinders, he's been a wonderful signing from AC Milan, their most expensive signing as well, at just under £50 million. And a chance as well for Savinho to try and show exactly what he's got to Pep Guardiola. He's got 4 goals in all for Manchester City. And you can be sure that he's going to try and change those statistics a little bit this evening. So Reinders, Marmouche and Savinho on for Haaland, Foden and Cherki. Rodrigo has the ball just inside of the City half, playing back towards Carreras. And forced even further back, and they've got another pacey option on with Marmouche as well as Savinho. So 3 very, very quick, rapid players for City in their top 3, as they look to utilise those spaces that have been opened up with the fullbacks playing higher up the field. Ball played long for Rodrigo, but headed well by Núñez. Savinho's first touch is to break away from Bellingham. Bellingham strong tackle in, but playing that one out, and that is going to be a throw-in. Bellingham still working hard as ever, as Newcastle have now gone 2-1 up away in Leverkusen. Bellingham plays into the comfort and space of Asensio in the centre circle. Just under 20 minutes to go. Real Madrid 1, Manchester City 2. Madrid taking the lead in the 28th minute. But O'Reilly finding a leveller on the 35th, and then from the spot on the 42nd minute, Haaland winning the penalty after a VAR check, giving Manchester City the lead. Rodrigo slipping, turning away from City players, breaking into that half, and still with the ball at his feet, breaking away from City players, but finally the right tackle comes in, but cheaply given away immediately towards Chouameni. Chouameni out wide towards Carreras, driving up this near side edge of the area, shepherded by 2 City players, turning away again, so confident with the ball at his feet, but that one given away far too easily, and a strong tackle in late on Núñez, and I think the referee's going to have to come over and have a word potentially there with the I think it might have been Gula there who put the tackle in. Bernardo just wanting a little bit more than that, because it was a late tackle, but the referee's been very composed. He's only given 2 yellow cards in the game, 1 for either side, Rudiger and for Foden, who now is sitting on the dugout. So he's done well to keep this one from getting away from him in terms of cards, which is exactly what we need to see in the game. It has a possibility to flow, which can make it exciting again, especially a game as big as this one, as Marmouche looks to chase on the ball, but Rudiger gets there first and highest. But a heavy touch away, and that one is going to be a throw-in for Real Madrid on this near side, inside of their own half, taken quickly by Rodrigo, far too quickly, as there are 2 balls on the field. Bellingham just making sure that there is just 1 now left, as Asensio has the ball just outside of his own penalty area. So for Madrid, this is a bit of a turn of form that they haven't seen. They've won 5 of their last 6 Champions League home fixtures. And Pep Guardiola is actually winless in his last 4 meetings against Real Madrid. So at the moment, this is a real change from the normal, as Doku looks to twist and turn away into the Madrid half. The referee telling the Belgian to get up and get on with it, as Madrid have the ball, switching out wide towards Rodrigo, halfway into the City half on this near side. Núñez keeping near company, taking it into the centre, good play across, edge of the area to Diaz, but Reinders this time clearing the ball away, and And now it's Nico O'Reilly's turn to be down on his haunches. He's going to have to get up though, as Real Madrid have got an opportunity. Edge of the area, Bellingham struck in away, deflected away. O'Reilly still getting on, and another opportunity deflected away from City again. And O'Reilly is begging for that ball to be cleared, but Doku has an opportunity to chase on the ball. And up goes the referee. There goes the referee's whistle, just stopping play, as Doku looked to break away from the Madrid defence on that long ball played up. But Nico O'Reilly now down, I think feeling it potentially where Haaland did just a few moments ago. But he's much quicker to get back up to his feet and looking a lot braver. Just seen a shot there of Mbappe sat in the dugout with his feet almost up on the tiny wall in front of him. He's got his tracksuit bottoms firmly on. So from what it looks like at the moment, Xabi Alonso does not look like he could be calling upon his top scorer this evening. There are 15 minutes to go in the game. City lead 2-1, but now a chance to drive further from Madrid players, from Diaz out wide, and it is going to be a free kick for Real Madrid, sorry. And a yellow card right on the touch, right almost level with the line, with the paint marking of the penalty area. That was a wonderful driving run, that one from Valverde. And O'Reilly right behind him, picking up a yellow card. That's the third card of the evening. So O'Reilly having to pull down Valverde with a wonderful driving run on that further side. This is a free kick in an excellent position for Real Madrid to take advantage from. Bellingham and Goula are in very close conversation. It is going to be Goula to take this one. This must be a yard from the edge of the 18-yard line. This one to be taken almost level with the penalty spot, right on that edge of the penalty area. And it's going to be Goula to take this one with his left foot. Looks to be a two-man wall of Doku and Savinho. Goula is something of a dead ball specialist as well. Goula, left-footed, great ball in, but headed away from the City players as they push up and chase on Goula, who picks up the ball from going out on the touchline. Ball played back into the penalty area, switching across to Rodrigo. Cute touchdown, keeping it under his control. Rodrigo, good ball into the box, headed away by Gvardiol though, clearing the ball away as Valverde picks up on the pieces, playing it, flicking it back with a cute back heel towards Carreras. Back out wide now to Rodrigo on this near side touchline. Rodrigo turning away from the pressure. Good ball into the box, headed there by Vinicius Jr., but just wide of the target, and a good opportunity for the Brazilian to draw Real Madrid level. Vinicius Jr., wouldn't have expected of him to get there ahead of the tall centre-back options for Manchester City. All 5'7" of him, rising highest. And it was a great header. It came so cleanly onto the very, very front of his forehead. But he just couldn't guide it into that further post. And instead going a couple of yards wide of Donnarumma's goal. As Man City have themselves a throw-in. Xabi Alonso handing the ball directly to Nunez. As Nunez throws up the touchline, ball going out of play. This one now for a Real Madrid throw-in right on the halfway line. Carreras to take this one, and we're going to see Endrick making an appearance for Real Madrid. So a striker coming on that isn't Mbappe. They must be resting him for the Deportivo Alaves game this weekend. That one on Sunday this week for Real Madrid away from home. Bellingham just under pressure from City players surrounding. Rodrigo coming to help and now winning a free kick. Bellingham taking it quickly, far too quickly. And a big, big scream in frustration into the roof of the Bernabeu from Bellingham. The referee stopped that one from being taken quickly. As the referee just points towards the touchline where Goulet was looking to take it quickly enough. And it is going to be Asensio making his way off for Endrick. So it really is now all hands to the pump for Xabi Alonso and his Madrid team. Endrick will surely hold in that upper position. It's going to be three at the back of Valverde, Rudiger and maybe Carreras or Tchouaméni. But Goula plays a ball out to the further side. Rudiger looking to get there first. O'Reilly heading away out towards Marmoush. Marmoush with plenty of pace in those legs, looking to drive away from Tchouaméni, putting the pressure on. Short inside though to Doku. And Doku coming back towards O'Reilly. Again, City not trying to force anything too early up the field, waiting for numbers to come back. Slide in from Endrick to try and dispossess, and Carreras again, wonderful tackle to break the ball away as City give the ball away easily. Bellingham, ball out wide towards Valverde. Valverde, good ball into the box. Strong tackle away though there from Guardiol, and it's going to be a corner. We've got 10 minutes to go. Madrid 1, Man City 2. Madrid with a corner to be taken on the further side, as they are almost growing more and more like they did in the first half an hour of this game. They had such drive and intent, and they're finding that again this evening. And it is going to be Goulet to take this one with his left foot, swung into the centre of the goal. Donnarumma flapping at it, Vinicius Junior. Oh, and he cuts a frustrated figure as he hoops that ball high, sky high over the bar. Almost a scissor kick in the air. Donnarumma catching nothing but air, came charging out to try and flap that one away, and it must have put Vinicius Junior off as he went to connect with it, and that one went sky high over the bar. Xavi Alonso just frustrated at that one. If he'd been composed and kept himself on the surface, I think he could have just touched that one in with the inside of his foot. But Vinicius Junior doesn't do things easily, and he was looking for the flare finish there as he has himself on the ball 10 yards inside the City half. Easily dispossessed though by Núñez. Núñez now into the Madrid half, playing the ball up the touchline, looking to chase and get onto the ball now. Silva breaking inside. Rudiger potentially the guilty party there for the foul, and it was on Savinho, and it's going to be a free kick for Manchester City. Savinho felt that might have been in the penalty area. I might have to disagree with the Brazilian. Rudiger, he doesn't want to give away another penalty given by VAR. Excellent composure from Núñez under pressure from Bellingham as Savinho was breaking inside, and yeah, Rudiger just catching him on the edge of the penalty area. Fortunately for the German, this one won't be a second penalty against him. They are lighting centre-back numbers, Real Madrid. They really are. Alaba, Carvajal, Militao, Højlund, all not available. All can play in centre-back. So this is a free kick in a glorious position, and I'm sure they wish they would have had Haaland on the field for this one. This free kick is to be taken around 4 yards from the byline, right on the edge of the penalty area, on this near side. And Pep Guardiola's picked up a yellow card for his frustrations. So Pep enters the referee's book. Sure, that's not the first of his 1,006 games as a manager. Bernardo Silva and Reinders stood over this ball. Bernardo Silva swung in far too high of a ball though towards the back post. So easy for Real Madrid to deal with. And that one to be a comfortable goal kick as Werder Glimt have levelled in Dortmund. That one now 2-2. Dortmund 2, Werder Glimt 2. It's not going to be easy for Manchester City up there in the Arctic Circle, especially at that time of year in January. That's going to be a really tricky game in terms of weather conditions. As City break into the penalty area, Marmoush looking to get there first, but well won there from Valverde, flicked into the box ahead of the Egyptian. As that ball is played long for Brahim Diaz to try and break up the far side touchline. Still in play though.